Welcome to PSY 465, otherwise known as History and Issues in Psychology. You should have already watched the History and Issues opening video. If you have not watched that video, then please turn this one off and go back and watch the opening video, which covers the basic philosophy and approach of this course. Once you've watched that video, then this video would be appropriate because in the current video, I'm going to go over the syllabus and talk to you about what it is you need to do to fully benefit from this course over this semester. What you should see on your screen is the home page for the PSY 465 History and Issues in Psychology course. When you log on to Canvas and select the course, this is what you should see. If you scroll down to the bottom of this page here, you will see some buttons down here which contain everything you need in order to be able to navigate the course successfully. There are other options over here to your left, but those are not required, and you can successfully take a look at the course without touching any of those, with the exception of the announcements link. The announcements link is where I will communicate with you for this course. Should we need to change anything in the syllabus, alter any of the requirements, cancel a class, rearrange a class, anything like that, I will post it in the announcements. When I post an announcement, you will get an email telling you that I've posted an announcement, and I really encourage you to take a look at that announcement to figure out what it is that you need to do and how the course has been modified due to extraneous circumstances. The rest of these down here are what you are going to be using in order to complete all of the assignments and obtain the information you need. In this course, we have two syllabi. We have the formal syllabus, which contains all of the information that Lenoir-Rhyne requires me to put in a syllabus. And then we have the working syllabus. The difference is that these two syllabi have basically the same information. It's not that you have to remember different requirements. The requirements are exactly the same, but the working syllabus contains a great deal more detail concerning the course, the philosophy of the course, what the course is about, whereas the formal syllabus contains the basic information, the basic ideas of the course. Both of these syllabi will be useful to you, although the working syllabus will be the one that you should be looking at most often. The syllabus button here on your left points to the formal syllabus, again, which has all of the basic information, all of the basic ideas that you need in order to be able to do the course and do it well. Uh, the other buttons here, the modules button, the modules contain all of the materials and the assignments that you need in order to do the course. There are some resources I've posted for you here, and there are kind of new items that I will put on every now and then to help make the course more interesting and more enjoyable for you. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the formal syllabus. And when I click on the formal syllabus button, this is what you should see. Again, it contains all the Lenoir-Rhyne information. Read it. It's important information, useful information. As I mentioned, and will mention multiple times, there are no required textbooks for this course. There is nothing you need to buy. You don't have to go out and buy a $150 or $200 textbook, which is absolutely useless for courses like this. I think most textbooks for history and system courses absolutely suck, but that's why we don't have one. It's because they're all awful. Um, in the modules, you'll find everything you need in order to be able to successfully complete the class and accomplish the objectives of this course. The course outcomes are listed next. Methodology, this is a seminar. If you had watched the introductory video, the other video, then you will know what the course methodology is and what this is about. Course requirements, there are 6 things you must do for this course. 6 things in order to pass the course. I know it says 5 here, but there are 6 things you must do to pass the course. The first thing you must do is come to class. This is not a cram it in your head and barf it on a piece of paper class. This is a discussion class. You cannot participate if you do not come, which leads me to the second thing that you need to do, which is participate. If you sit in your seat and say absolutely nothing during the class, you will have a hard time doing well in the course. This is not a course for students who want to be incredibly passive. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to be an extrovert in order to pass the course. It doesn't mean that you have to be incredibly outgoing. Introverts can and do pass this course and do very well in the course, but you need to be able to discuss and share your ideas of the material. The third thing you need to do is to reflect on the material. You need to turn in a weekly reflection on the material in the module. This is due on Friday, um, and I will be. That gives me the weekend in order to be able to review it and make sure that I am prepared for our discussion of that material. Then you need to lead one class discussion yourself. After the first week of class, each Thursday, one or two of you will be responsible for leading the class discussion. We'll talk about more of that here. There's some guidelines for you a little bit more in this syllabus, but you need to lead one discussion. You get to choose which week you want, and I'll go over that here in a bit. Okay. Then the fifth thing you need to do is you need to turn in an end of semester term reflection. This is due by Tuesday, May 4th, which by the way is our final exam day. There'll be no exceptions. I will not accept late reflections. I am retiring at the end of this semester, and I am not going to be messing with late stuff. Once the course is over, the course is over. So make sure that you get it in on time. Make sure you get it in on time. The last thing you need to do is to pass an oral final exam. Multiple choice questions tell me absolutely nothing about whether or not you understand the material. In order to be able to show me that you understand the material, you need to be able to discuss the material. You need to be able to engage in an honest examination of the material. We will meet on the final exam day for the oral final. Tell your parents to book your airline flight after the final exam. If you are not present at the final exam, you will get a 0 for the final exam because it is an oral final exam. So please, please, please keep that in mind. Grading criteria. All students want to know, what do I got to do to get an A? What do I got to do to get an A? Again, as I mentioned before, the 6 things you got to do, requirement 2 and requirement 1, I've combined them into attendance and participation grade, which is worth 5 points each week. This is 20% of the course grade. The 3 lowest attendance scores will be ignored in the calculation of the final grade. If you come to class on time, that is 1 point. If you stay for the entire class, that is 1 point. If during the class you ask questions, that is 1 point. If during the class you make comments on other people's questions, that is 1 point. If you share what you know from outside class, that is 1 point. Total of 5 points. total of 5 points. This is worth 20% of the total grade. 20%. The second thing is your reflection. This reflection is worth 5 points each week, and it's worth 30% of your total grade. Canvas will weight these appropriately. Well, 5 points and 5 points mean it should be the same percent. Canvas weights these based upon the percents I tell Canvas. Late submissions of your reflection are allowed, but lose 10% each week or partial week it is late. It is due on Friday. If you turn it in on Saturday, automatically lose 10% of the grade. Period. I want these done on time. Want these done on time. They don't help us in our class if you're not reflecting on this on a weekly basis. Fourth requirement is you need to lead one class discussion. This is worth 10% of your grade. You may partner with one other person to lead the Thursday discussion, but you will be graded based on your own work. How you lead the discussion is up to you. Since this class is intended for juniors and seniors, I expect that you have had enough experience in other classes to be able to decide how to lead a discussion. Requirement 5. You need to submit an end of term reflection, which is worth 25 points and is worth 20% of your total grade. I have details of this below, which I will go over with you. The last requirement is you need to pass an oral final exam, which is worth 20% of your grade. And again, below I have details on that. So let's go on down below a little bit. So I go down here, the end of semester term reflection. Okay. You will choose one of 5 prompts listed in the working syllabus. This is where the working syllabus comes in for your reflection of the semester experience. These prompts are designed to reward integration. You choose the one you want to respond to, and then you will write a 2,500 to 3,000 word reflection. I don't do page limits because page limits are so 1990s. In the world today with the internet, professional journals, professional grants, professional organizations outside Lenoir-Rhyne do not have page limits. They have word limits. Get used to word limits because that's what you're going to find outside Lenoir-Rhyne. I know most of your professors are 20 years behind the times. I can't help it. Even though I'm an old man, I am more ahead of what's going on outside Lenoir-Rhyne than most of your professors are here. Anyways, your reflection should be 2,500 to 3,000 words. The reflection is due Monday, May 4th, no exceptions. I've mentioned it before. I've put this in a whole bunch of different places because I want to make sure that you understand that. The oral final exam. Let's go down to the oral final exam here. As per university policy, you are expected to attend the final examination period as specified in the course. Again, I put it down here as well. Please tell your parents not to buy your plane ticket home until after the final exam. I will not accept any excuses. It is here. It's part of the video. I've put it in multiple places in the syllabus. You should be able to figure this out. You should be able to figure this out very clearly. The final examination will last 2.5 hours. It'll last the entire time. Just plan on it. Just plan on being it. To help you prepare for the final exam, I have placed in Canvas a file containing questions I asked last time I taught the class. You can take a look at these to help prepare you if you wish, or you can ignore them. It is totally up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your time. You budget your time the way you wish it to be budgeted. Again, evaluation of your performance. These are how grades are assigned based upon the above points. Inclement weather policy. If LR is shut down due to weather, we will meet on Zoom. I know you know how to use Zoom. I know you know how to use your cell phone to access Zoom. I know that you know how to blur your background so I can see your face on Zoom without seeing your bedroom. I'm blurring my background right now, as you can see. We all know how to do those things. Therefore, there's no reason why we can't meet. Late work, all assignments need to be due. Late assignments lose 5%, with the exception of the weekly reflection, which will lose 10%. I've already mentioned that above. Electronic devices, don't use your cell phone in class. This is a discussion class. If you want to talk with your friends, if you don't want to come to class, don't come to class. If you would rather be watching a football game or a soccer match or something else besides come to class, please don't come to class. Please don't come to class. AI policy, you can read the AI policy yourself. Institutional policies, this is all the stuff that Lenoir-Rhyne requires that I put in my syllabus. And then we get to the course outline. And the course outline basically takes you through the course week by week by week. You can take a look at this if you are interested in looking at it in more detail. Okay, here we are back at the home screen again. Now I'm going to go to the working syllabus. I'm going to show you briefly what the working syllabus is all about. The working syllabus is basically the course outline in extreme detail. For each week, I tell you what the question is we're going to be looking at that week. This is the focus of the course that week. This is what the key tension is. And then here is where I want you to really focus your attention is on the assignments. Now, those of you who are leading the discussion on Thursday, for those of you leading the discussion on Thursday, the core focus, the key tensions should help you significantly in terms of preparing for leading the discussion. This is what we are attempting to look at, examine, discuss, go over as we meet for the class. For everybody, there are assignments that you need to do. Now, the assignments typically consist of small, brief things that you need to read, as well as YouTube videos. For each week for the assignments, I list approximately how long it will take you to do all of the assignments. Please, please, please expect to spend a minimum of about an hour to an hour and a half outside of class, reviewing the videos, doing the readings, all of that type of thing. I've tried to keep it to a minimum, but it is incredibly important that you do the readings and the videos. You will be very embarrassed when you come to class and you have not done the videos or the readings. Not only that, but your participation grade will be 0. You can't participate meaningfully if you haven't done the assignments. It is just not possible. Just not possible. I've chosen videos that I think are rather interesting. I've chosen videos that I think are rather relevant. I've chosen videos that I think will engage you. And their videos are typically like this one on Plato on the Soul is a 10-minute video. 10-minute video. While you're watching it, I suggest you take a few notes, but it's a 10-minute video. Not that bad. This one on Aristotle's theory of the soul is a 6-minute video. Again, not that bad. I've tried to keep these videos relatively brief, relatively to the point. These two here are the longest at 21 minutes, 21 minutes, 20 minutes, okay? But they need that, you need that time in order to really fully appreciate what it is that they're attempting to communicate in these videos and in these conversations here. So for each week, you have the central question, the core focus, the key tension, and then the assignments, and then the video assignments. And as I said, I'm trying to keep them to about an hour to an hour and a half. This week, week 2 is about an hour and 15 minutes. Week 3 is about an hour and 25 minutes. Week 4 is about an hour and 10 minutes total time. Week 5, I've been a little bit more compassionate, and I've given you 45 minutes there, only 45 minutes to look at there, and so on and so on. So they should not be too terribly onerous or difficult for you. Now here we are back at the home page again. Last thing I'm going to show you here is the modules. If you go here and click on the modules, again, these are the three things you need most. Working syllabus, formal syllabus, and modules are the three most important parts of this course. So you go to the modules here. The modules are organized to follow along the syllabus. So you can go here and you see the history and issues opening video. That's the one you should have watched before this one. History of psychology overview of the course. That is this video right now. And then we have for week 1, all of the videos that you need to be watching. Plus, here is the link to the weekly written reflection assignment. Here is the link on how to find a discussion time. I've done a video that will show you how to find a time for you to do a discussion for this course. Then you have week 2, all of the videos that you need to look at for week 2, plus the weekly written reflection. We have week 3, all of the videos for week 3, plus the weekly written discussion, okay, and so on. So each of these follows along with the syllabus. Finally, at the very bottom of the module, you'll see week 15. Week 15, I have what's here called lead topic discussion. That is there if you have any materials you want to upload for your topic, when you lead the topic discussion, this is where you will upload them. If you want to share any material with your fellow students, if you want me to see your notes, which may not be a bad idea, to be honest with you, may not be a bad idea to share your notes with me so I have more information to evaluate you. The more information I have to evaluate you, the better for you. Okay, not a bad thing to do. Not a bad thing to do. But this is where you would put them right there, and then this is where I will assign your grade for leading the topic discussion. This is where you put your end of semester term reflection, so that at the end of the semester, when you turn in your term reflection, you can then see what that not see, but you can then put it there. This is where those go. Now, for a minute, I'm going to go back to what's called the working syllabus here. And I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom of the working syllabus. It's going all the way down here, all the way down, going all the way past everything, because this is very, very long, but also very useful for you till I get to week 15. For those of you that want to start working early on your end of semester term reflection, this is where you will find the information you need for your term reflection. Okay, for your term reflection. Says here, choose one of the following prompts for your reflection of the semester experience. You have prompt 1, prompt 2, and so on. These are the prompts You can choose one of these five prompts. Prompt one, psychology's recurring problem. Prompt, and this is an explanation of what it is you should be taking a look at. Prompt two, authority and responsibility, and what you should be taking a look at. Prompt three, what was missing, and what you should be taking a look at. Prompt four, psychology is a product of its time, and what you should be taking a look at. Prompt five, the future of psychology, and what you should be taking a look at. Okay. You can choose any one of these five prompts you want. I suggest that you take a look at these early and that you start gathering information and taking notes as we go along to help you in terms of doing this at the end of the semester. And you are encouraged to engage deeply with course themes rather than attempting to memorize and reference everything in the course. This is the course. This is the outline of the course. This is the requirements of it. I know it seems like a lot. It tends to be very overwhelming for a lot of students to begin with, but this is going to be an engaging, interesting, very, very fulfilling course if you want it to be. If you are simply taking this course because it fits your time slot, you're simply taking this course to get your ticket punched. If you're taking this course because nothing else was available, you're going to absolutely hate this course. But if you're taking this course because you want to engage with the material, you're taking this course because you, like me, love psychology, because you really want to get deep into the philosophical and the theoretical issues that are involved in psychology, then you will really, really enjoy this course. I'm going to sign off here. I look forward to seeing all of you on Tuesday, January 13th, as we begin our discussion of psychology as a discipline. Hope you have a good rest of your break, and I look forward to seeing all of you.